share my AVON story with all of you because I am truly so proud to be an AVON representative. I'm proud of this company, I'm proud of my team, and I'm personally proud of all that we have accomplished with AVON. I started my AVON business later in life than most. I began 12 years ago. I took early retirement from the Clayton County Department of Family and Children's Services, which is just outside Atlanta. I was in my 40s to be a full-time mom to a granddaughter who needed me. I had been retired from the workplace for 10 years, during which time I spent a lot of time volunteering with the school system. And when Tricia, my granddaughter, entered middle school, she actually suggested that it might be a good idea if I spent less time in her school and got a job. Well, I didn't want to go back into the traditional workplace. It had been 10 years, and I was stressed at the thought of writing a resume and trying to find a job at 55 years of age. So I looked into home-based businesses. I did a lot of research on the internet. I just knew there should be something out there that I would be able to sell. I had been an AVON customer for my entire life, and at that point I'd had the same representative for 9 years, but I really only bought lipstick and earrings and such. But during my online research, I was amazed at AVON's great skincare product and need. So I thought I'd give AVON 6 months and see what happens. One of my mentors, Lisa Wilbur, tells us that it doesn't work to give yourself a timeline. And in most cases, she's probably right, but I did, and I've never looked back. I attended sales meetings, took training courses, and met other representatives who were so helpful to me. The bonds that I have built with other AVON representatives have been very important to my success over the years. That's what makes AVON so special for me, the people. I was also very excited by the campaign cycle and the energy and variety of products that are available every 2 weeks in the brochure. I'm always amazed when team members tell me they don't want to buy a lot of books. I tell them the book sells the product. Why wouldn't you want to get them in the hands of as many customers as possible? I have to admit, I was disappointed with my first order. Seriously, it was only $800. I know what you're thinking. 800 isn't bad. In fact, I wish my new recruits would turn in 800. But I just knew that I could do more. But that was going to take more books. That's why the first chance I got, I ordered 500 books. And I set out to get those books in the hands of as many potential customers as possible. I also knew going door to door was not going to work for me. I like interacting with a lot of people and the energy that is generated by sharing AVON with groups of women. So I went where I was most comfortable, in the school system where I had volunteered. I would give out books and samples to the other volunteers, the teachers, the staff, everyone. And then I visited other schools in the area. I was building a strong customer base. I was loving, selling, and best of all, I was home every day for Tricia when school would let out. Leadership was still kind of new to the East Coast at this time, so most of my focus was on selling. But I did have a small unit at the time. I was just open to everything to make my business work for me. A turning point came when I went to the Board of Education for approval of an AVON fundraiser for the school. They had never had an AVON fundraiser before, and I knew it would be successful for them. But more important to me was that I wanted to get that book in the hands of every family with a child in that school. And it was a win for all of us. And the most amazing thing, we had almost no shorts. It was awesome. So I was off and running. I expanded by going to businesses in the area and leaving books. I even got to leave books, a brochures in the local Toys R Us warehouse, thanks to a very nice supervisor, at least until he left. The new supervisor wasn't quite as supportive. But it was great while it lasted. And today, 12 years later, I still have many customers that I met in that Toys R Us warehouse. Every day, I just spoke to more and more people, using trial and error and tips and techniques from AVON and other representatives. I just kept at it. I consistently worked my business because I decided if I was going to do this, I was going to make money, a lot of money. I made President's Club within the first partial cycle of selling, and by the end of my first full cycle, with the help of that fundraiser, I made President's Council. I've been a council member ever since. In fact, I have been and continue to be an inner circle member with sales in excess of $450,000. From my online sales alone, I would be an Honor Society member. Soon to be Rose Circle level alone. I also have an LABC, a licensed AVON beauty center, which I and my customers just love. But it's interesting, as much as I love the LABC, I felt the store was confining me. I missed being in the field working with my team. By this point, I was also an executive unit leader. From my work with family services, I have always liked working with people and helping others get a leg up. That's why leadership was so appealing to me. So I staffed up the LABC and I decided to focus more of my attention on growing and leading my team. My biggest help with this has been my husband, Paul. He's retired now and is helping me almost full time. He's great with the computer and all the e-tools. In fact, he trains most of my team on how to run their business online. He is so patient. He is patient with everyone, especially some of my older reps who are not very comfortable with a computer. I just couldn't imagine doing AVON now without Paul's support. I wish he were here with me today so I could thank him publicly. I get to do all the fun stuff while he handles all the ordering, returns, and back office. One other important thing that having my own business has afforded me is caring for my mother for the past 7 years. She suffers from Alzheimer's and moved in with us. We were able to convert the basement into a large, private, 2-bedroom apartment for her with my AVON earnings. To afford home care for her during the day, largely due to AVON. What has been wonderful, despite her decline over the last few years, she still knows me. A neurologist told me, if you've seen one case of Alzheimer's, you've seen one case. They're all different. And most people at her level of decline don't know their own family members. But mine does, and I believe that's because I have been able to be with her every day. And that's because I want to end by telling you how excited I am to be an AVON representative right now with all that is happening in AVON US. In campaign 19 of last year, I became a senior executive unit leader. Thanks to the changes in the leadership program. Today, I have more than 460 on my team, and our sales are in excess of 1.7 million. I would be a senior under the old requirements, and they never could have happened without the momentum of the changes. And you all need to know that representatives are going absolutely nuts about nesting. Getting my 40 this way. They love it. And with more and more seniors and executives every campaign, my team is really seeing the potential to achieve higher levels. All I can say about One Simple Sales model is I love it. It makes AVON an easier sale when you're recruiting. It is making AVON more attractive to join and even bringing people back into AVON. With the elevated role of the district sales manager and leaders owning the recruiting engine, we are feeling a stronger sense of partnership than ever before. I have 2 new terrific managers now. One from my LABC district and one from my home district. Brenda Lavelle and Vanessa Moore. I am looking forward to setting records and tearing it up with both of them. I attended the SEUL summit in Orlando, and I was simply blown away by the honesty and transparency of AVON's management. I have to thank Angie, Rich, Maria, Jorge, the entire team for really making us feel respected and valued. I can say the AVON management team won the heart of every senior in that room. When I returned home, I couldn't wait to share my positive feelings with my team. And with everything that we have been reading in the news lately, I want you to know we are not worried. We are focused on growing our businesses. I know I am, because I believe in AVON, and I believe in the causes AVON supports. I raise a lot of money for breast cancer and ending domestic violence. I know I'll never cure breast cancer myself, but when a cure is found, I and all the AVON representatives will feel so proud that we were a part of making that possible. I started selling AVON because I wanted to have some freedom and make some money. But I have gotten so much more. I've made lasting friends with representatives just like me. I've traveled extensively, and I've been recognized as only AVON can for my success. I love the trips, and I love the recognition. I really do. Don't we all? But through leadership, I am doing what I have always cared about, helping people, empowering women every day to reach for their dreams and improve their lives. Mentoring and being mentored in return through sharing the AVON opportunity is what it's all about. It's a wonderful way to earn, and I am so grateful every day that I made that first phone call. AVON has truly changed my life, as it has changed the lives of so many others. Thank you.